All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Steve, and today we are on College Football 27, and we are going to be figuring out doing a full regular season and college football playoff sim to see who who College Football 27, whatever, thinks is going to win college football this season, the playoffs, all your conference championships. We're going to get to see everything unfold. I just picked out Alabama as a random team here. Looking at your preseason top 25, Ohio State leads the way as number 1, Oregon at number 2, Notre Dame at 3, Georgia at 4, the Hoosiers of Indiana, your defending national champs, coming in as a top 5 ranked school. You got Miami, the runner-up, at number 6, Texas with Arch Manning. Is he going to be any better this year? At number 7. You got A&M at number 8, Ole Miss at 9, Oklahoma rounds out your top 10. You then see LSU, BYU, Alabama, Michigan, USC, Texas Tech, Penn State, Iowa, Utah, the Tennessee Volunteers, Houston, SMU, Washington, Louisville, and Florida rounding out your top 25. So I think the first thing that we are going to do is we are just going to hop right into this sim. I've got everything manually set for the CPU to be doing it, so I won't have any impact on Alabama. It's all going to be computer generated, and we're going to go ahead and sim all the way until the first college football playoff poll, kind of get a landscape for how the league is going and what College Football 27 thinks is going to happen at this point in the season, seeing as we are so close. Football's back, college football's back. I had my first fantasy draft the other day. It's exciting. We're back. So we're going to hop into the sim for a little bit, sit in this little loading screen. And as far as Alabama goes, they have a big year ahead of them, man. Keelan Russell was just announced as the starter, and Alabama in general obviously used to run college football, and they've been a little bit lackluster since the retiring of Nick Saban. Obviously, Kalen DeBoer comes in. They did make the college football playoffs last year, and they beat Oklahoma on the road round 1, but then they fall in round 2, and it's not even particularly close to the eventual national champion in Indiana. So Alabama is unranked at 4-4. Pretty rough year for the Crimson Tide. 2-4 in the SEC. That's not Crimson Tide standards, but it does look like LSU comes in as the number 6 ranked team in the nation. Beautiful to see all that. We look at some scores and schedules. Wow. So Miami, the Hurricanes, are 8-0, the number 1 team in the nation. Oregon still stays at number 2. You've got A&M also 8-0. Georgia, Notre Dame, LSU, Texas. So we're about 8 games into the season at this point. Tennessee's up there pretty high at 6-2. Ohio State, wow, still ranked in the top 15, but they're 5-3. Wow, that's just not what you expect to see from them. Okay, and looking at the current college football playoff bracket, it's going to be Miami at 8-0 at the number 1 seed, Oklahoma at Penn State, Notre Dame, Boise State is your 12 seed right now. BYU gets in there along with Arizona, so a couple Big 12 teams. Very interesting to see. All right, I think we're going to sim into the end of the season, and then we're going to look at stats. We're going to get the Heisman ceremony, and then it'll be officially time for the playoffs. Here we go. Let's get to week 15. I'm guessing this is Army-Navy week, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so it looks like these are going to be our conference championships this year. Starting in Conference USA, we got Kennesaw State 8-4 taking on Delaware at 9-3. In the Pac-12, it's going to be Boise State ranked at number 15 in the nation, 10-2, 8-0 in conference play, taking on San Diego State, which comes in at 8-4. In the Mountain West, it's going to be North Dakota State at 10-2, taking on Wyoming at 8-4. In the ACC, it's going to be Miami, the number 2 team in the nation, only 1 loss on the year and undefeated in conference play. They're going to take on the Louisville Cardinals at 9-3, ranked number 13 in the nation. In the Big 12, we've got 6-7, 2 top 10 ranked teams, BYU at 10-2, Arizona at 11-1. Wow, very impressive. In the MAC, we're going to have Miami of Ohio taking on UMass. In the Sun Belt, it's going to be Appalachian State at 11-1, could be playing for a playoff spot in their conference championship. Number 17 in the nation, they're taking on Arkansas State at 8-4. You got North Texas versus Memphis in the American Championship. Memphis at number 25 in the nation. You got Texas and Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry coming in versus the number 3 team in the nation and the number 4 team in the nation with the exact same records, both normal and conference. And then the Big Ten Championship, you've got the number 5 Oregon Ducks coming in at 10-2, taking on Penn State at 9-3. That should be electric. Here's a look at your top 25. We are going to revisit this after conference championships, but you're more than welcome to pause the video if you want. Looks like Notre Dame has taken over the number 1 team in the nation as an independent. Get them in the ACC, bro. So it looks like Sam Leavitt out of LSU was the passing yard leader with 4,658, and you had another 4,000-yard passer in Trey Owens out of Arkansas State. Looking down the rest of the list, you got Micah Alihado, shout out Bordeaux, playing with Hawaii. He had 3,875. You then have Aaron Philo out of Florida, Maddox Madsen, the senior out of Boise State, and then just throwing some other names over here. Caden Veltkamp, shout out the WKU dynasty from 25, Ashton Daniels, Trinidad Chambliss, George McIntyre. I'm pretty sure they announced the true freshman's going to play for Tennessee, so it won't be him. Byron Brown, Jaden Craig. These are all, I think we're going to stop at 3,000-yard passers, just so you guys can see a little bit of stats for everyone. And then your TD leader, once again, Sam Leavitt. Guy probably is going to get the Heisman if I had to guess. Here's Darian Mensah from Miami. You got Austin Simmons from Missouri. Lenora Sellers up there. Byron Brown, Julian Sayin, George McIntyre, Desmond Williams, Trey Owens, Micah, Bear, Josh Hoover, Billy Edwards, Alonzo Barnett, Kevin Jennings, Ryder, Aaron Philo, and then who led the nation in picks? Rodney Tisdale at a WKU. Unfortunate to see that. So we are seeing, there's West Virginia, there's Duke. We are seeing a lot of smaller schools up here. Philo, Boston College. Okay. The nation's leading rusher was Ahmad Hardy out of Missouri with almost 2,000. You're going to have Jaheim White out of North Texas with 1,500. Bo Jackson for Ohio State. BB, Desheen Bishop, Lucky Sutton, Antoine Raymond, Jeremiah Cobb, Kamari Moulton, Mekhi Hughes. You had Devin Roche over with Old Dominion, Braylon McDaniels, Kawan Lacey, Isaac Brown, Jaden Baugh, Austin Dendy, Quentin Jackson. You had Telly Johnson Jr., CJ Baxter, Cam Cook, Wayshawn Parker, Caleb Hawkins, Tristan Morgan, DJ Scott, and then the touchdown leader, 20 for Hollywood Smothers out of Texas. Wow, 18 for Kawan Lacey, Daniel Hill with 17, Fluff Bothwell with 17, 16 for Raphael, Carson Hansen had 16, Chauncey Bowens, you had Traquan Jones, Miles Mitchell, LJ Martin, Caleb Komolafe, Arch Manning with 14. Wow, Jeremiah Cobb, Cam Cook, Peyton Lewis on Virginia now. Your receiving yards leader is going to be Ben Ford out of Boise State with 1,432. Jordan Mosley with 1,426. Trey Omier. So a 3 to 9 yard separation for the top 3. Wow. Then you get a 100-yard drop-off with Jordan Dwyer, Deuce Robinson, Aiden Williams, Carlos Hernandez, Nana Burris, yeah, Jace Brown, Joseph Williams, Easton Messer out of FAU, shout out FAU, Caden Sanders, Samuel Mbake, Jackson Harris, Anthony Evans III, Ed Small, TJ Moore, and your touchdown leaders, you got Kenny Johnson, Caleb Brown, Danny Scudero, Jeremiah Smith, Troy Omier, Landon Ellis, Deuce Robinson, Braden Pagan, Jackson Harris, Braylon Staley out of Tennessee, Easton Messer, Anthony Evans, TJ Moore, Derek Avery, Isaiah Canyon, Malachi Toney, Rashid Williams, Samuel Mbake, Davion Dozier, Ben Ford, Jackson Williams, Talon Shedetron. Oh, shout out from the North Texas Dynasty, Talon Shedetron. Love that guy. Trades Green, Nathan Laycock, Donovan Alug Bade, Kyler Casper. I wanted to stop at 10 touchdowns, but there's so many guys. Zion Booker, Eugene Wilson, Anthony Eager, Trey Spivey. Okay. Defensively, your sack leader is going to be Taverua Tafiti, Mario Thompson, Kip Lewis. Your interception leader is going to be Jair Hill, Darius Dixon, Jamarian Kalagbadi, Bray Hubbard. I feel like these numbers are kind of low. Tackle leader is going to be the same guy from Stanford. No. Jesus McAdoo Jr. Is that Jesus? I don't know. There's some tackle leaders. Okay, that's it. I'm doing that on stats.
Happy holidays and welcome to the Heisman Trophy Ceremony presented by EA Sports. I'm Chris Fowler inside the Tiburon Theater. We're so proud every year to be able to bring you Heisman Trophy Night. The most impactful handoff of the season is just moments away now. And one of these guys will become the 91st Heisman Trophy winner. The 4 finalists, as chosen by the Heisman balloters, a somewhat surprising group, if we're being honest. At the beginning of the season, you might not have thought these would be your 4 finalists, but each of these guys has earned their way here, not by focusing on the Heisman, but by focusing on their team and doing what it takes to win football games. A reminder of how good each of their 4 seasons were. And these guys talk about their poise, their composure. They've been that way on the field, but when you get to Heisman Trophy night and you get them together and the trophy is in the room, everybody admits these are very nervous moments. Only one of them will have their name read. Only one of them will join this exclusive fraternity. And one more look at this year's Heisman finalists. One of these guys is about to experience a life-changing moment. Okay, we've kept them waiting long enough. All of us want to know who's going to win the trophy for this season. And the winner of the 2026 Heisman Trophy is junior quarterback out of Texas. Final congratulations to this year's Heisman Trophy winner. 2026 will forever be known as his Heisman season. Thanks for joining us.
So it's going to be Arch Manning winning the Heisman Trophy for 2026. Only 26 touchdowns, but he did have a lot of rushing touchdowns as well, and almost 4,000 yards. So pretty good stats for Arch Manning, and I'm assuming Texas did pretty well at least. These are going to be your All-Americans. Arch Manning, the Heisman, is going to come in as the starting QB for the national team. Hollywood Smothers as well, Ahmad Hardy, Ben Ford, Troy, Deuce Robinson, Dradez Green, Caden Green, Evan from Cincinnati. You've got Sheridan Wilson from Texas Tech, Joe Brunner, Gunnar Gatula, Taylor Ween, Damon Wilson II, Francis Breru, Bear Alexander, Isaiah Glasker, Jerry Mixon, Anthony Beavers, Evan Johnson, Jair Hill, Gerald Kilgore, Omar Thornton, Tate Sandell, and Bart Edmiston. Looks like Alabama's going to make a bowl game against a ranked Virginia. That should be interesting, but I'm more curious to see how the conference championships went, as well as what the playoff bracket is going to look like, and we can keep that track and go week by week. So conference championship week, we had Delaware getting blown out by Kennesaw State. That's an upset. You had Boise State taking care of business and making the college football playoff because of their Pac-12 championship win. You had NDSU losing to Wyoming by 7. You had Miami locking up the number 1 seed with a blowout over Louisville, and their season comes to an end. You had Arizona losing the Big 12 championship to BYU. They dropped to number 10. BYU is number 5 in the nation now. You've got UMass losing to Miami of Ohio in an upset in the MAC championship. Looks like App State, it fell apart in the Sun Belt championship. They lose on an upset to Arkansas State. It looks like Memphis keeps their top 25 spot, beating North Texas by 1. You're going to have Texas, the number 2 team in the nation, so Arch Manning well-deserved with that Heisman, the number 2 seed in the nation after they take down Oklahoma, who drops to number 6, and then Oregon takes care of business against Penn State. They're going to be the number 4 seed in this college football playoff bracket. So one last look at your top 25: Miami, Texas, Notre Dame, Oregon, BYU, Oklahoma, Auburn, USC, Texas Tech, Arizona, Colorado, Boise State. And are these teams missing out? Georgia, no SMU in the CFP, no Ohio State at 8-4. Wow, what a disappointing year that would be. Louisville, Virginia, A&M on the outside. App State finishes top 25. Nebraska, Penn State, South Carolina, Pitt, Ole Miss, and Memphis rounding out your top 25. Here is a look at the official college football playoff bracket. The winner of USC and Texas Tech 8-9 will take on Miami. That's at USC, but I'm feeling Texas Tech. I'm feeling Drew Mestemaker in that one. You've got BYU and Boise State. That could go either way. Both are 11-2. I will take BYU at home, but that is an either way kind of game. Winner goes to Oregon for the Rose Bowl. You've got Oklahoma. I think they're going to take care of business with John Mateer over Colorado. That game will be played for the Cotton Bowl against Notre Dame, and then Texas will play the winner in the Fiesta Bowl against either Auburn or Arizona. I'm taking all home teams here. Yeah, except for Texas Tech. I'll take Texas Tech with an upset. Everyone else, I'll take Auburn over Arizona. Let's sim to next week and see how this is going. Okay, it looks like we got all our predictions right. We got BYU over Boise State by 6 as a one-possession game. I tried to tell y'all. They're going to play Oregon. I've got Oregon winning that one. You had Texas Tech blowing out USC. They play Miami. I'm going to take Miami. And then from there, I'll take Oregon to go to the championship. Notre Dame versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma kills Colorado. I think Notre Dame will win. And then you've got Auburn over Arizona. Pretty close game. They're going to take Texas on. I will take Auburn with the upset, and then Auburn to the Natty versus Oregon. Oregon winning it all the way. Obviously, that would be a crazy prediction if it came true, but that's okay. Let's find out and see what will happen in this second week of the playoffs. These winners obviously are going to take it on all the way to the Final Four, and we are that much closer to finding out our national champion. It's going to be Texas Tech upsetting the number 1 team in the nation, Miami, Oregon in the Final Four, and then Notre Dame and Texas on the other side. Arch Manning's not playing around. Little 52 ball on the Tigers. Here we go. We've got the 2 seed, the 3 seed, the 4 seed, and the 9 seed left in contention. What is this championship going to look like? Texas versus Notre Dame, and then on the other side of it, you're going to have, who was it again? Was it BYU, or am I making that up? Your championship's going to be Texas versus Texas Tech. Wow. Arch Manning versus Drew Mestemaker, the 2 seed versus the 9 seed. Who owns the state of football? Who owns Texas, the big time high school football state? This is massive. For the crown, Arch Manning, Drew Mestemaker. Here we go. Your national champion in 2027, according to college football, is going to be, drumroll please, Texas Tech, with the run of a lifetime. Wow. Absolutely insane. That's crazy. Football's back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.